all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Atlanta Falcons. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Round 80! Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. It's a foot race. 20, 10, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
We ain't giving them nothing.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
On play action, Allen. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Carson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On 2nd and 10, Ryan, and it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now this one complete to Robert Foster. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Allen. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Micah Hyde comes flying in from safety for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. Allen now Already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And it's caught by Parker. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Bills passing game getting him down the field. They've got another 1st down. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. On 2nd and 9, Allen eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Allen. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
54. Check. Watch 54. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. Finding Knox there, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Mike, 45. Hey, they're scared. They're scared. Stop.
22-jet bomber. 22-jet bomber.
They'll try to run with Carson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz. Is a lot.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Chris Carson His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. On that sideline, they're saying that was more like it. The first down run went backwards, that time into the end zone.
And I like their little bit of courage in play calling, too. Because after an unsuccessful run, especially one where you lose yardage, you oftentimes go right to throwing the football. They came right back with a running play, and it paid off handsomely.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Ready, flag 25. 49. Bound to lose one.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him to first. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This complete to Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Back to you. Check, check.
They'll try and run for it with Smith. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The decision for Todd Bowles, and he says let's go for it on 4th down.
21.
They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
59, ready. You ready? Check. 53, check. Pick it up. Let's go.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
First and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now it's Ryan. That's complete to Smith.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Ready. Stop your whining. Hey, Chris Lance. Hey, check. 53's mine.
Throwing again on second down. Ryan, and that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And that's a critical touchdown. I don't want to be too hyperbolic or whatever, but they needed some points on the board before halftime.
They certainly did, and, you know, it's not going to erase everything that happened in the first half. Look, they got outplayed. There's no question about that. But now it gives them a chance to regroup, feel a little bit better about themselves. And how many games have we done where we've seen everything flip when another half begins? And by the way, did you say hyperbolic?
I did. Well, thank you. Now Ryan leading the Falcons up to go for 2. Ryan will throw again. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken near the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than...
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Carson. He stiff arms him, shreds the tackle. He'll have a first down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Now what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Allen going to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Dawson Knox, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Yeah, they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Switch. Hey, tight.
They run it with Carson. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Two draw Parker. Let's go.
From midfield, here's Allen. He gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. And he's got this down to the 35. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 35. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check. Crouch. Alert.
Here's Allen to throw it. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. In for the sack, Deion Jones. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
It has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Yeah, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan.
One thing you're hoping for when you run.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Now Ryan. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Agnew now to return. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On 2nd and 9, Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Allen now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is Carson. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Ryan. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
Now it's Ryan. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Hendrickson. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
Hey, hold. Nickel.
On 1st down, Carson. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. 14 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll toss it to Smith. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down. They go play action with Ryan. He completes it to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 47. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
Let's make
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Complete to Jones. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now Ito Smith, and he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run, the best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 26. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offense coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
So after the INT, it's Allen. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 19th touchdown now on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 23. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On 3rd down, Carson. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been in man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. That good for 19 and a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Caught by Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards there on a Falcon 1st down. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
25, 22. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Check. Get up.
Here's Ryan. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
You can't block me. Hey, South. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 50.
Again, Ryan. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. But now it's 3rd and goal. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. To throw again is Ryan. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Now Ryan leading the Falcons up to go for 2.
Here we go.
Throwing again. Ryan to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.